So let's start. Display. What is display? So I'll show you a slide and try to guess what are the percentages here. What is 5%? What is 95%? When you think of internet and people browsing the net, what could be these percentages?
95% is the image and 5% is the text.
Okay.
5% of people use other search engines apart from Google.
5% use the?
Other search engines apart from Google.
Okay. That's a good one, probably. Maybe slightly less. What else? Any other suggestions?
Social versus other websites. Social.
Okay. More? No? Okay. So actually, the 5% is the percentage of time that people spend on searching content on the net. But 95% is the time they spend on consuming content, browsing the net for news, on social networks, playing games, doing anything on like consuming content, not really browsing for search. So this is why it's so important to have a full strategy to complement your search campaigns with display campaigns, to follow these people when they come to the search engine, but then go to the display network to consume content. Okay? So, what is the Google Display Network in MENA? So this is how it looks like. It's really composed of a various number of websites, ranging from niche websites, so you can find their blogger sites, you can find their, very small niche website that talk about how to repair something, so, and you can find their very big sites like BBC or Gulf News or whatever. Okay, so it's meant for everyone, and within the targeting techniques that we're going to cover, you will see that you can choose from this network whatever it's interesting for your client. Whether it is the big net websites, whether it is the small website, whether it is about the people that are browsing these sites, so you can choose from it. So just to give you an idea about the coverage of this inventory, you're reaching more than 80% actually of the internet users in MENA while using the Google Display Network. It has more than 75,000 websites. It's actually, this number is growing constantly because we keep on acquiring sites. So basically, it gives you a really pretty good coverage of the content in this region. Any questions? Clear? Okay, so if you want to target this Google Display Network that we just talked about, how can you do it? What are the targeting techniques that we could use so we reach people on this display network? So you have mainly two ways, two big options. One of them is based on the content that people are browsing. Where are they? Are they in Gulf News? Are they in a game site? What are they doing on the net? And the other way of targeting people is really based on the people themselves. What are their interests? You don't care anymore about where are they, but what are they interested in? Okay? If I'm a bank and I'm interested on getting people that are interested in credit cards, I don't care if they are in playing games or doing something else. As soon as I know that banking products make sense for them, I want to target these. So you have basically two ways. And in each way, you have different ways again. So I'm going to cover each one of them. I'll start with what we call the context and targeting people based on what they browse on the internet. So the first technique is called contextual targeting. Contextual targeting is a technique using keywords. Okay, so when you want to target people on the display network, you want to target them on a certain website, but still you want to add a layer and target them within a specific content on these websites. Okay, so for example, if I'm targeting people on the GDN, I want to know what's the content they're browsing at the minute they will see my ad. So in order to make sure that you're going to reach this result, you basically build your campaigns in a way where you select keywords, the same way as you do for search. You select keywords and you say, I want to meet the clients, I want to see the users when I want to reach them when they see these keywords on the content of the page. So the way it works is you build your campaign, select the keywords that you want to reach people with, and then we have our scrollers when you set up your campaigns that will scroll the page that the user is browsing, identify the key keywords that are in this page, okay? Identify a concept, a theme. If there are keywords about beauty, hair, haircut, cake, etc., we will identify that this page is probably about hair care and beauty, okay? And infer from that the category of this page is hair care. Okay, so if you have any keywords then in your campaigns that are matching with this content, that are about hair care, beauty, etc., then your ad will show here within this page. Is that clear to everyone? Okay. So that's quite powerful as a technique because it's very similar to search. You're going to be using the algorithm that browses what people are typing and matching that with the content in your campaigns with the display network. So still regarding the context targeting, we have another technique that's called topic targeting, which is very easy to set up. It's much easier than the first option, which is based on selecting keywords. This one, we do most of the work for you. We tell you, we categorize the content in the display network, and each website or web page, we put it in a group of sites. So we will have what we call topics, more than 1,500 categories, covering the whole Google Display Network. So each website that is part of our Google Network is classified in one of these categories, one of these topics. So instead of going, selecting the keywords that you want to be reaching people with in the display network, you can just say, I want to target people on all the websites that have this content, which is, for example, the topic beauty sites, or travel sites, or golf sites, okay? And the interests look like something, I don't have it here, but you will have, for example, a top-level category, which is, as an example, finance, and you will have subcategories, credit cards, lending, loans, all these subcategories there, and you can pick from them. Okay? Are you familiar with this? Have everyone ever set a display campaign using these techniques? Yeah. So that's easy so far. Okay, I'm going to go faster then. Okay, placement. Is everyone familiar with that? That's very easy. You select the website that you want to target. Okay, so let's move to audience targeting. Audience targeting, as I mentioned previously, is really targeting people based on their own interests, who they are, what do they like. Okay? So the first way is what we call interest category marketing. Interest category marketing will be using what you know is called the cookie technology to understand from the people's browsing habits on the Google network, what do they like. Okay, for example, if I'm interested in jewelry website and browsing that on the net, I will be identified as someone liking jewelry. So if you want to target people with the interest jewelry, I'll be appearing there. Okay? So again, here the way it works is similar to topics. You have lists of interest categories, and you pick from them. You can pick the top category level and the subcategories level. I'll move faster so we can spend more time on remarketing. So this is how it works. Okay. Remarketing. Remarketing is actually, in my point of view, the most interesting techniques in all the targeting ways in the GDN. So remarketing is something in the technology similar to interest targeting, okay? Because it's based on what people are interested in, okay? Not on what are they browsing. So why remarketing is so powerful? Because it will target the people who already showed interest in your client's website, people who've already been to the client's website and browsed it. So that's why it's so powerful. For example, I'm sure it happens already to one of you at least, to go to an airline website and try to book a ticket, but then you didn't find the right flight, you're still not convinced, you browse back and leave the site. But then you get an ad telling you this is the flight and reminding you that you've been to this page. So you go again and finish you're buying. So that's retargeting, that's remarketing. It's really powerful because it retargets people that have already been to your site. So how does it work? In very simple word, this is the way. The first step is a client comes and visits, a user comes and visits your client's website. Okay? He can come from any traffic, traffic source. He can come from organic, from paid search, from another website, from social media. We don't really care as soon as the user is in the website. Okay? Whenever he is on the website, then we're going to be using what we call a tag that we previously placed in the client's website. So when you set up remarketing campaigns, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with the tagging technique, right? All of you? No? Okay, so basically when you create a campaign, a remarketing campaign from Adwords, you create a code or a tag, okay, that you generate very easily in 2-3 steps. I can show you a video later eventually if we have time. And this tag, you give it to your client, and he puts it in the HTML of the page, of the web page, of his website. So he can put it on any web page he wants. The best practice usually is put it everywhere, okay, from all the websites, including also what we call the thank you pages, which is, for example, when you buy something, at the end you see a thank you page saying thank you for purchasing something on our website. Okay, so you place this tag everywhere, so we are allowed to, gather lists of users, group the users that come to your website based on what they browse on their site. Okay, so for example, we can list all the users who have visited the homepage of your clients. Okay, based on a cookie technology. We put a cookie, and then we record all the users that come, and that makes lists for us, and we can retarget these users later on. So basically, here, next time this same user who came to your website browses the web and goes to the display network anywhere, we can show him your ad, your banner, saying, come back to our site. Okay? So the way you set up your remarketing is as follow. You can, basically, as I said, the first step is that you create this tag and you place it on the site. Then the second step is to select what is this content that you want to group people in. For example, if I am Amazon, okay, and I want to know who are all the users who visited my homepage, then I place my tag here on the homepage and then generate a list called visitors of the homepage. And this list will start gathering users. Every day I will see more and more users who visited this page. Then I can choose to have people who visited the digital cameras page within the Amazon website. I'm really interested in this specific segment because I want to retarget those eventually if they don't buy, because cameras is very important for me, and it's a product from which I make comfortable margins, if I'm Amazon, as an example. Okay? Another possibility is to go even deeper and select one specific product below the cameras, which is Canon, for example. So here, just a reflection, as soon as you go in depth, you can be much more specific in the ads that you're showing to your clients. Here, for example, if I want to retarget those people, I can show them a banner with a Canon camera, okay, and tell them, this is the specific model you can buy in our site. So you can be as specific as you want based on this list creation process. And just so you know, it's very simple to create all these lists. As soon as you have the tag implemented, it's from the Adwords platform. You just go there and create a list in 2 seconds. And then here, just to give you an idea, yeah? Sure.
Can you explain that sentence? If you have already labeled content tracking, why would you want to target converting users again?
Yeah, so basically, you have the tagging technology, okay? So one idea was if you have the conversion tracking code, that is also already placed in the thank you page, you could use this same code to do remarketing. But we had improved since then, and we have a new code that is called the Smart Pixel, which is basically one single code that you place everywhere. Okay, so that was really useful when we needed to place one code per page. Okay, today it's not really any more useful because you can place one Smart Pixel in all your websites. So within this tagging, you can create as many lists as you want. Yeah?
Does it also help with retargeting similar cookies?
You can do similar audiences, exactly. So whenever your lists start populating and your campaigns start working, you have a feature that we call similar audiences from Adwords, and you can see the system actually suggests to you other users that are similar, that have similar profile to the ones that you have in your lists. So you can grow your reach. Because in a way, with this remarketing, depending on the traffic that you will have on your site, it can be limited. Okay, if you have a site that receives only 100 users a day, you can end up having remarketing lists that are quite small, with not so many number of users. So it's very interesting to complement that with what you're saying, the similar users, because the system suggests automatically other users that have similar profile than the ones you have in your list. So you can increase the reach. Any other questions? Yeah. Yes, definitely. It's a very good question. So when you create your campaigns and you create your user lists, you can specify for how long you want them to last. Okay? So the default time period is 30 days, but you can make it longer, you can make it shorter, depending on your objectives. For example, if I'm a website selling clothes for pregnant women, maybe I want to keep these users in the list for 9 months. So I can make the user length, the list length, for longer than 30 days and for actually all the period. I think the maximum is around 540. Sorry?
540.
Yeah, exactly. 540 days is the maximum. Any other questions? Okay. So here, the idea is that once you create your list, you can combine them when you're targeting. For example, if you placed one code in the payment confirmation page, if I'm Amazon and I have a tag on the payment confirmation page and on another page, for example, people who visited digital cameras or people who visited Canon or another specific product, I can combine these. I can retarget the people who visited the Canon cameras, but exclude all the ones who have actually purchased something from my site. So I don't retarget people who have already bought, and I don't spend money for nothing. So it can be very efficient to combine all these lists once you're retargeting people. Is it clear? Okay. So here I have some tips and tricks that will help you when you set up your remarketing campaigns. One idea is, back to your point previously, which is about the duration of the users in the list. What we noticed by experience is that the longer people stay in a list, the less they are likely to purchase. Okay? Or come back to your site and perform the action you want, not actually only purchase. So this is why we can see here in this graph that the CPA, which is the cost per acquisition that you're willing to pay for a customer buying something from your site, goes up with time, with the duration of the users in the list, with the cookie length. So there are many ways of optimizing this. One of them is by default to set up your cookie duration list for example, 30 days or not more than 30 days. Usually we recommend around 30 days. The other thing that is very important is to use what we call conversion optimizer. I think you're all familiar with conversion optimizer, right? No. So conversion optimizer is an advanced feature that we have in AdWords that you need some eligibility for. You need to have recorded a certain number of conversions within the last 15 days, okay? And once that is completed, you can turn it on. very simply by going to the Settings tab and here clicking on Focus on Conversions. Okay? So when you do that, you will allow the AdWords system to optimize for you where you place your ads based on the freshness of the users in the list, how long the users have been actually in the list. Okay? If they have been in the list for less than 7 days, we will show your ads more often to these users than to others that have been to the list for longer. So that's one of the things that Conversion Optimizer takes into account and saves you a lot of time and energy to do things manually. Okay, so I really advise to use that whenever your campaigns are eligible for it. Any questions? Yeah. 30? 30 in 15. 15. 15 for 1 month. He knows better than me. I was about to say 30 for 2 months. Any other questions? Okay. So the other few tricks that you can keep in mind while doing remarketing campaigns is often to enable the accelerated delivery. Why is that? Because you know when you're doing remarketing, you are targeting a limited audience. You're not targeting the whole display network and new and more new users. For example, especially if your client has a site with not a lot of traffic. If you have a client that has limited traffic, so not so many new users coming in all the time, it can't be interesting actually to enable accelerated delivery. The other idea is to use frequency capping. Frequency capping, I think you all experience the fact of getting annoyed by some ads popping up all the time. You've been to this airline website and you're seeing the ad everywhere you go. So one idea to avoid that, one way to avoid that and avoid bothering clients with the same message all the time is to actually cap the number of times you show your ad to your user. Okay? You can cap that. For example, you can put 7 impressions per day per ad group if you want. Usually we don't recommend to go below 7. 5 to 7 is a number that works well. Another idea is to rotate ads based on conversions. But here, if you use Conversion Optimizer, that's enough. You don't really need to do that. The other thing, in order to really maximize your chances of performing really well with remarketing, is to make sure that you are targeting all countries, all languages. Why? Again, here, you're targeting a limited number of users. If I've been to this airline website and I'm really interested in purchasing this ticket, it's not because I'm browsing the net in French instead of English because I'm French native that I shouldn't see the ad. You know? Or if I'm traveling to another country because I've been there I have a business trip for 2 days that I shouldn't see the ad. So usually we notice by experience that broadening the targeting to all countries, all languages while doing remarketing works quite well. The other thing is also, as you probably know, is to maximize your chances with covering all the formats that we have in the GDN, and to also try to develop text ads. Because text ads for remarketing is interesting because you can customize really the message. If you're retargeting, we take the example of earlier, people who have visited the Canon page within Amazon, you can go back and customize your ad with saying, buy Canon cameras from our side, special discounts of this amount. So text ad can help you really be very customized for your audience without really waiting for the client to develop banners. I know that sometimes it's challenging to get the right banner from the client and to get many different sets of banners, especially if you want them to customize for each list. It can be time-consuming and you wait a lot. So text ad is one option. Okay? Is it clear? Great. So I just wanted to show you one video. Do I have time? Yeah? Okay. I just wanted to show you one video quickly. Actually, we don't really have enough time to cover more stuff, especially analytics. So I'm not sure if any of you is using analytics. Yes? Okay. So analytics is quite interesting because usually it gives you a lot of insights about the user's behavior in your client's website, what are the products that are selling the best, especially if they have any kind of e-commerce, as an example. So analytics is very powerful, and usually it gives you a couple of insights about what's the experience of the users in your site. So it's very important to keep in mind while you are building your campaigns that you're targeting the people to the right landing page, that you're not confusing the user, okay? That you're not taking him to a landing page that is completely far from the ad that you were showing. So this all is very important for your success, for the success of your campaigns. So I just wanted to close with a video, a funny video that will give you an idea about what I'm talking about. Where is it? Oh, sorry. Here?
Yes. First folder.
Okay, sorry.
People who bought olives also bought Chardonnay.
Oh, all right. 78% of people who use Chardonnay also bought what to do with is not adding for you.
Well, I'm just wanting to get some olives.
Why not buy all three?
Because I don't really need them.
It'll give you a total saving of £7.
No, I think I'll still pass, actually.
Just the wine net.
No, sorry. Oh, you didn't know. Excuse me. Excuse me, I'm not buying this wine.
You sure you want to remove that item from your basket?
Yes.
Why not try something new?
What, and buy something totally random that I've never shown any interest in?
Wilson Cake Memorial mug?
Yeah, okay, I'll take the mug. Obviously I'm joking, aren't I?
Great. So just a quick teaser to make you think about how important it is to help the user land on the right landing page, find the right product quickly, etc. So yeah, any questions? Maybe something I didn't cover, feel free. If you have any questions about search, about anything that wasn't in the... We have the YouTube part coming soon, but apart from YouTube, you can ask anything. Yeah. On what, sorry? On? Conversion, yes. Yes. What is the difference? So basically, the difference is when you go to the site, when a user goes to the site and completes one conversion within his session, within the open session that he has, it will record one conversion. If within the same session someone comes in and buys more than one product, the conversion many per click will take that into account. The conversion one per click, it will take into account only the one conversion per session. The click on the ad, exactly. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So in that case, you're describing the user bought just one thing. So there will be no difference between one per click and many per click. Okay? The difference comes in when you have this user, for example, is sitting at home with his wife and he bought something, or bought two products. Okay? So the conversion one per click will consider one only, one conversion, and the other one will consider two. Yeah? View-through conversion. The view-through conversion, it's something that will relate. View-through conversion, by the way, it's not all the way active, which means that you have in the advanced conversion, if you go to the conversion, tools and conversion, you have an advanced tab where you have to enable dedoubling of content conversions if you want to rely on the view-through conversion. So the view-through conversion, how it works is when you have a user who sees your ad, sees an image, a banner of your ad, and goes back, searches online, on Google search, and converts. So this conversion is attributed to the banner in a way, because we call it a view-through conversion. He viewed the ad, but then converted from the search network. And if you activate the dedoubling that I just spoke about in the advanced segment, we wouldn't count this conversion twice between search and display. We'll count it only once in display. Is it clear? But you have all these definitions usually in the Adwords Help Center. Are you familiar with that? Okay. So if you type in just in Google, Adwords Help Center, you will find a link called Adwords Support, and you click on it, and you can type in any definition you want, and you'll get the result with the explanation and videos and everything. You're welcome. Yeah?
There was a page where you could optimize for CPA, CPC, or CPM.
Yeah.
But how do you actually pay? Is it all CPC or is it CPM?
When it's CPM, it's CPM. Yeah, but when you select in your campaign CPM, you're going to pay CPM. If you select in your campaign CPC, you're going to pay CPC.
Optimizing is also a payment method. It's not just saying, okay, so I've spent $1,000, which is giving me the best CPC, which is giving me the best CPM, which is giving me the best CPM.
You mean when you optimize? I don't get.
Does that affect how you actually pay for that?
You mean in the settings? What do you mean by optimizing page? Okay.
Red box around the one section which only opens up after 50 conversions.
Yeah, okay.
So that was optimized by CPC.
Yes.
And then under that we had optimized by CPM. And above it we had optimized by CPA.
You don't really have optimized by CPM.
The idea is that you would want to choose the most accurate targeting technique, most accurate cost model for your targeting. So CPA, CPM, CPC, all of them at the end of the day, depending on the volume that you get, so you multiply the unit cost, which is CPC by, for example, by the number of clicks, you get the cost, and CPA by the number of conversions. But at the end of the day, these are means to help you optimize. So you will get similar results based on how well you optimize each type separately. So it's not, one is not more expensive than the other. The unit could be more expensive, but then again, you have to see how much volume you're getting from each. So CPA might be more expensive, but it's relevant to a conversion. And if you want to reverse it, how many clicks are leading to a conversion, for instance? So, it does even out eventually.
Yeah, and also, it also really depends on your objectives. For example, if you have a branding campaigns, opt-in for a CPM, it's much better than opt-in for a CPA or CPC, okay? Because it will maximize the number of impressions you're looking at. Depending on each metric, there are a couple of metrics that are important and that are looked at priority in your campaigns. For example, if you opt in at CPM optimization, you will see that your CTR might go down. Because in the way we calculate, we optimize for showing your ad, we don't really care about the fact that the ad is clicked, but more about the fact that the ad is seen actually in the pages, got impressions. Okay, so it will also impact all the set of metrics that you're seeing. But the payment is different, as Kati was mentioning. Is it clearer? Yeah, you choose, completely dependent on your objectives. Any other questions?
Can we target display ads based on the keyword searched on the regular search?
Yes, you can do that. You mean mirroring the keywords that you have in the search to display?
Yes, sir. I just especially want to target people in the memory who is searching for the rent-a-car. Show them the display ads. Is it possible?
No, because search and display are targeting people in different networks. When you talk about search, you're talking about Google search or the partner search engines. Okay, so when you want to target people that are searching for content, you use Google search. When you want to target people browsing content and using keywords, the keywords will only allow you to reach those people in the content network, not in search, but refine a little bit the content you're reaching them in. Okay? So it's really two separate networks. They don't really work together. Yeah? Any other questions? Yeah? We'll move to YouTube.
Time for YouTube. So much, Rita.
You're welcome.